The school system has been designed to condition us into becoming future employees. It has told us that success is only achievable through conformity to traditional career paths, in the process destroying our creativity and independence and conditioning us to become obedient employees rather than innovative thinkers. We Spartans place a high value on individual strength, courage and resilience. We encourage our citizens to embrace challenges, take risks, think for themselves, and to explore their own passions and potential. Back in the day, I had a true employee mindset. I remember thinking, yeah, let me just get a degree, then I can work as an employee for 50 or 60 years, and then I can live out my life and get free money from the government. It sounds great and all, but it's actually quite a scam. Since then I have changed my mindset for the better, and I'm grateful for this. And this is because of reading books, talking to friends with the same interests, and now I can say I have an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm not perfect yet, I'm still learning a lot of concepts here, but I can really see the difference now between somebody who has an employee mindset and who has an entrepreneurial mindset. You can see this in conversations with people. For example, they are probably not free. And by free I mean, for example, when they want to take a holiday. I've got some friends who work for a boss, and when we want to take a holiday, they always tell me, yeah, I have to ask my employer if I can take this holiday, otherwise I will just have to pass. And they just accept this. They think, yeah, if my employer doesn't allow me to go on holiday, I can't go on holiday. And this can be okay, but my opinion in this is the holiday is the most important part, and especially when you book something with friends on a specific period, you can't go another period. And it's very important for me to have this freedom to do what I want, to take a holiday when I want. And another great example is the actual amount of holidays they have. I have got a friend who works full time, and his total number of paid holidays is 18 days the whole year. Wow. If you're in college or something like this, enjoy your time while it lasts, because 18 days of holiday is not much. And that's why I hate being an employee. So today I'm going to be talking about the differences in mindset between an employee and an entrepreneur. And especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, it's very important that you understand these concepts. An employee wants a quick and a safe paycheck. Every month he wants 2,000 euros and he will be happy. He wants it now, not later, now. An employee puts all his trust in his employer to earn money so he can keep his employment. And we have been sold this lie. We have been told that this is safety, that if we just earn 2,000 euro each month, this is true safety. But it actually isn't. This employer can fire you any second and then you're without any income. Because tell me, can you survive without a job for 4 months? You might can if you have great savings, but otherwise you're fucked. And another possibility is in economic bad times, your employer might not be able to survive and he has to fire you. An entrepreneur doesn't expect direct results. He doesn't expect money right now. He expects or is hoping for money in the future. So he's spending all his time building a system which can generate income for him in the future. And this isn't 100% sure, but when you actually achieve this status and achieve this system which can generate income for you, the income is most of the time a lot more than when you're just working as an employee. But the difference is, if you're an employee, you get 2,000 euros a month steadily. So the difference is, an entrepreneur builds a system, an employee works in a business system. And the interesting thing is, if you actually want to make a lot of money, you actually must be an entrepreneur. Because most of the time, your paycheck as an employee stays the same. It might grow 2 to 3% each year, but what's actually the max? If you are a lifelong employee, the The max might be if you're a CEO of your company 100,000 euros. But to become a CEO, that's very, very exceptional. So there is a great ceiling which you can't go through as an employee. When you're an entrepreneur, you will earn under the ceiling. You might not even earn anything in the first few months, maybe even years. But then your income starts to skyrocket and goes right through this level. So as an entrepreneur, you can actually earn a lot more money. And earning 10,000 euros a month as an entrepreneur isn't actually that crazy. The problem with being an employee is that the paycheck is keeping you hooked. People don't want to take the risk of actually starting their own business because they won't get a direct paycheck. But when their employer fires them, they won't have any paycheck. And that's the difference. When you're an entrepreneur, nobody can fire you, and you will still, even if there's economic bad times, you will still earn some income. The second difference is money. An employee doesn't know anything about money. He trusts money to his employer. The company takes care of that. They give away all their control of money. The company will pay your pension, will pay your holidays and everything like this. As an entrepreneur, you must know about money. If you don't know about money, you are screwed. You must know about the taxes, about debt, about accountancy. But the interesting thing is, you will also know about all the legal loopholes of taxation. And the thing is, most entrepreneurs don't pay that much tax. If you're an employee, you will probably pay around 40 to 50% income tax. As an entrepreneur, you will pay much less. Another great difference is spending. An employee spends his money buying liabilities. So this might be a house, a car, a new iPhone, and these liabilities take money out of his pocket, and they probably have to keep paying for these things. Let's say they buy a car on credit. This means they have to pay for their credit card debt every month. Same with their house. The difference between an employee and an entrepreneur is that an entrepreneur doesn't buy liabilities, maybe some, but the entrepreneur buys assets which can generate income for him. So an asset might be stocks, bonds, he buys a house to rent, and these assets bring money back into his pockets. So an employee buys things that take money out of his pocket, while an entrepreneur buys things that bring money into his pocket. And he tries to minimize his liabilities. The fourth difference is freedom. An employee must do what his boss tells him to do. He can't take that holiday if his boss doesn't allow him. He must work 5 days a week if his boss tells him to do. He must work 9 hours a day even if he doesn't feel like it. Let's say he has nothing to do anymore. Let's say you are done for the day and it's 2. You can't do anything else. You must do this job. You can't say, well, let me go home, let me just cook dinner for now, and then, in the evening I will work. No, you must work. You can't take your own road. You must follow the road of your employer. An entrepreneur can do with his time what he wants. He can go on holiday when he wants. He can work the hours when he wants. Let's say I don't feel productive right now. I would just do something else and work in the evening. Nobody tells me what to do. And this brings me great joy. This brings me a great, feeling of freedom. We have been sold this lie from the start of our education. We have been told, go to school, get good grades, listen to your boss, work 40, 50 years, and then rely on the government to pay your pension. Because this mindset has changed me a bit, I actually see being an employee almost like being a slave a bit. Just accepting everything your boss has to say. Just doing everything to please him. And you have to rely on him Because if he fires you, you are without any income. An entrepreneur is more like a man. He goes out hunting, building his own system without being sure he's actually going to catch his prey. But when he does catch his prey, he catches a rich prey and he actually builds his own system. I hope you can understand this analogy a bit. Just the thought of actually having to rely on somebody else for my income is a bit disgusting to me. And that's why I quit my employment and work full-time as an entrepreneur now, without having any reassurance that I'm going to make money in the future. And another thing of being an employee is hoping that the government will pay you if you stop working. This pension fund. I actually worked for a pension fund, and I know this is quite a big scam. Because of inflation and stuff like this, the money that is in your pension fund is actually quite worthless in 50 or 60 years. Another thing is, if you die, all the money in your pension fund is gone. It doesn't go to your family or anything like that. No. The government just takes it all back. That's like such a bullshit, right? You have actually worked for that. Your wife or your family should actually get this money, but no. This is going back to the state. And let's say if you're an entrepreneur and you have built assets, you've actually built an empire which generates passive income. Yeah, you can just pass it on to your family if you had to die. So remember, Spartans, it's not all about that next paycheck. Sometimes, if you want to achieve something more, we must distance ourselves from safety and work towards something better. Know the difference between an employee and an entrepreneur and make your choice wisely. Spartans, prepare for glory.